Now then, if you are a regular viewer of this channel, you will know that I have booked a Ryanair flight from Nottingham, East Midlands to Tenerife for next week. And boy, am I super excited to get there again. Lots of videos planned and lots of things to do. I'm going to be bringing you also the journey along the way from the airport at East Midlands, on the aeroplane itself, and at the destination airport in Tenerife South. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that little bell for notifications, because you do not want to miss that video. It will show you exactly what the new normal is like in the airports. Now, I've had lots of you say, yeah, great, I'm excited, can't wait for you to get there, can't wait for the new videos and vlogs to come out. But I've had some of you concerned saying, oh, but when you get back, you're going to be quarantined for 2 weeks and you're not going to get insured when you get there. Well, that might not be the case, because the UK government are going to put together some air bridges, or air corridors as they're also called, in place. So that way I won't actually have to self-quarantine or self-isolate when I get back. What are these, you ask? Well, I'm going to dive right in and tell you that in a moment. Now, if you've got any ideas of where I should film when I get over there, any bars, restaurants that I can have a look at, put them in the comments down below, because I'm going to try and get 4, maybe 5 videos done a day. I'm going to be doing restaurant reviews, I'm going to be doing bar reviews, I'm going to be doing walk and talks. I'm really going to be covering as much as I possibly can. I'm also going to go around where the Hard Rock Hotel is as well, because I've had lots of viewers say that I need to go to that area. Anyway, I'm going to dive right in now and tell you what these air bridges and air corridors are. So don't go away. Without further ado, let's go. British holidaymakers will soon be able to travel abroad again without the need to quarantine once they arrive. Ministers are currently working to set up air bridges intended to reopen travel opportunities to countries such as France, Spain and Italy. Now, what are air bridges? Well, also called travel corridors, air bridges will allow tourists to travel between 2 countries without the need to quarantine, which means when I travel to Tenerife next week, I won't have to quarantine. Yes! Airbridge agreements between countries, particularly those with low cases of coronavirus, would allow 2-way travel without restrictions. Now, on June the 25th, Transport Secretary Grant Shapps revealed airbridges will only be agreed with countries which have a coronavirus test and trace system at the same standard as the UK, as well as a low rate of the virus. The safe travel corridors will be set up after the quarantine review on June the 29th. The government has also announced a new traffic lighting system that will be used to rate other countries' coronavirus risk. People travelling to green or amber countries will soon no longer be required to quarantine for 14 days on their return to the UK. Now, which countries are considering air bridges? Well, Spain, France and Italy are set to be among the first to have their airbridge agreements with the UK. It is expected to be in place on June the 29th, joining a host of other nations including Germany, Bermuda, Gibraltar and Austria. UK tourists could eventually visit Portugal too, as both countries have agreed to potentially allow access to the country for British families without quarantining. Portugal's Foreign Minister confirmed his country is talking to the UK counterparts about air bridges so tourists can avoid being quarantined. Augusto Santos Silva told BBC Radio 4's Today programme that quarantine is an enemy of tourism, and it sure is. He added, our diplomats will work together to guarantee that British tourists going to Portugal would not be subjected on their return to England to any kind of quarantine. And these would only be in the first step, with British overseas territories like the Cayman Islands to form travel corridors in July, before the Caribbean, Canada and Dubai allow for holidays in August. However, for those eyeing up a trip to the USA or Mexico, you could have to wait until December. Are air bridges already in place, I hear you ask? Well, travel between Ireland, Isle of Man, Jersey and Guernsey is allowed without the need to quarantine as part of the common travel area. However, overnight stays are not currently allowed, so a holiday is off the cards. With the island's borders remaining closed, this is likely to remain the case until further lockdown measures are eased. Airlines are ready with flights when travel is allowed again, with EasyJet and BA offering domestic routes next month. Now, that all sounds great, so fingers crossed I will be on that plane, and by the time I get back from Tenerife I won't have to quarantine. What I have read on the internet, and you might tell me differently, is when I do return to the UK, and again I'll be filming and vlogging my return flight back from Tenerife back over to the UK as well, that you have to give your address when you're back in the UK, and then if anybody on that plane comes down with COVID-19 coronavirus, they'll inform me, and at that point I will have to self-isolate, and that's what I've heard that you've got to do. So if you know different, then let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, that's all from me today. Do remember, like, subscribe and click that little bell for notifications when I upload new videos. If you do want some MacMaster merchandise, by the way, and you want to support the channel, that's down there as well. Also, let me know what you want me to do and where you want me to go when I get to Tenerife. Any ideas will be appreciated. Pop them in the description below. I know that not all the bars and restaurants are open. It doesn't even have to be bars or restaurants. It can be anything. I'll be getting a car maybe from Andrew Knight at Sanity Car Hire, and I might have a trip around and do some filming as well. Anyway, that's all from me today. Remember, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Portugal's foreign minister confirmed his country is talking to the UK counterparts about air bridges so tourists can avoid being quarantined. Augustus Santos, for sake, why don't you get a name that's easy to pronounce?